So I escaped Puerto Vallarta to Puerto Vallarta again. You see this behind me, condo. So yeah, this is one of the first places I came when I decided to take life into my own hands. So I'm very emotional about this place. I have to tell you though, I made a video just now, and as I started recording it, my phone just decided to tell me that I ran out of storage space. Don't you just love that message? So I had to switch to a different device so I could talk to you guys. It doesn't have as much battery, so hopefully I can get as much of the message out as I can. So this is Puerto Vallarta. I have lots of stuff I have said about my time here in Puerto Vallarta, and some of the crazy stuff that happened in that beach over there. Which I'm like, now, did I just write all that? Did I tell everybody all of my intimate details and secrets? Oh my goodness. But it feels good to be away and just seeing how things have changed. But I really recommend to most of everyone, if there is a place that you have gone to or something that you have done or an item that you had once upon a time, I want you guys to go back and visit it. I feel as if, I don't know, when I first got here, I came with 2 people from Sayulita, and I was like, oh, this is definitely it. It was beautiful, it was amazing. I feel like I had gotten my smile back, I got my soul and everything. And it was just nice. It was so nice. Look at that. I mean, like, what is not to love? Okay, minus the prices, minus the fact that there's more gringos than anybody else. It's generally speaking still super awesome place for me. I really enjoy like spending a lot of my time here. So I'm extending for another day. I think in total I've been here in Vallarta for about 5 days, and I'm not really in a space where I want to leave. I'm just kind of like, wow. I lived here for free for a month and a half, couch surfing in somebody's house right next to the Malecon at this place next called Oscars. And this is one of the most expensive places, and I made it. Even broke, busted, and disgusted, like $200, not sure what I was doing, where I was going, what my next plan was. I was living in a house with other artists, and we were just kind of like, it was not perfect, but it was awesome. And it was one of the first places where I felt like I had so much of my own freedom, and I got to meet the ocean. I got to be whatever person that I felt like I wanted to be. I was having conversations with people who were also traveling or also artist-minded, and they were in similar spaces. This was so important. It's like so awesome for me to have, just to be able to visit this. And who knows? Hola, buenas tardes.
Hola, buenas tardes.
It's because I don't really know where I'm being sent. I don't know really exactly what is in God's plan for me. But I'm really happy that I get to come back here from a different mental perspective. I like definitely give thanks that this journey I've changed a lot in 7 years, which hopefully like that's what happens. I have been meeting up with a lot of friends that I met my first trip here through Mexico, like cross-country trip over the 6.5 months that I was here 7 years ago. And I met a family which their children have grown, and 6 years later, just wow, growing. Everyone in the family is like very cool. So it's been like powerful to see. A lot of them have said, wow, like either I didn't know you went to law school, or I didn't know this or this or this about you, or wow, you seem a lot different, from the last time we met. So it's just been really cool to have that experience that some have even said that it was a necessary part for me, but I definitely am not contesting that. I know that it was necessary. I had no choice. But I wonder if I actually get back to Guatemala when I get to Lago Atitlan, if I'm going to feel the exact same way, just a both love and extreme loathe for it that I did the first time I went. You know, I don't know if anybody has ever gone on these trips, but I do recommend at some point and in intervals to just keep going back and visiting yourself. I think at first it was still nice for me as an introduction, as an intermediary between my life of living in the US and coming here to Mexico. But the more I spend time in other cultures, you know, I definitely say I'm Nigerian because of the way I was raised and the values and stuff and the food that I eat in my home. And I may speak like someone, but my mentality, I tell everyone, is just like, I'm not normal. I'm not like a normal thinking person from America, and I'm not a normal person who thinks a normal person, your average person, and I don't have your average person's thoughts from Nigeria. And I don't necessarily have your average person's thoughts who travel. So I'm just my own person. Again, I'm kind of coming from a lot of different worlds, but I'm just so happy and very emotional to be here in Vallarta, and like, it's still crazy. I mean, like, there's people on all kinds of mess out here, but it's still a family vibe. It's still somewhat reasonable if you choose for it to be. I've been staying like at a hostel, which has been really nice. After I spent a few days in Guadalajara, and then I came back, and I just needed to be here. So for whatever reason, my soul needs to be here, and I'm happy to feed it. Look at this. This is gorgeous. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So unfortunately, over this way, there was like a lot of rain, and the water is a bit brown because of the flooding. So here is just perfectly like gorgeous in regards to the rocks. So I had to be here. I had to be out. Yeah. So here I am, just chilling. Yeah. Let me know tell me about it, guys. Has there been a journey or something that you felt like you had to take and you actually turned out for the better since you took the journey? I mean, things have definitely changed now, but this place really hasn't. It is really nice to be here. There's so many new developments and buildings coming up, and somebody that I recently met who is an expat, which is someone who lives in another land. They don't move. Said that rent has increased about 25%. So he was paying 10,000 pesos, which is about $500 US, and now his rent has gone to 20,000 pesos. So that's about like almost $900, $1,000 a month. So he said he's moving, and I'm happy to hear that. So this used to be like the place for people to kind of party and relax, but this was also the place where I met a lot of the expats who just turned into raging alcoholics, and I became very unimpressed by how they chose to live their lives. So what I mean by this is they would just drink and say, I was a doctor, and then they would it was like, to me, was very pathetic. So why aren't you anything else now? It's not as if your life ended. You may have retired a few years of a career, but that's not an excuse to just like get up and go to the bar and charge your card every day with, you know, several $100s worth of drinks. I mean, at the time it was cool because maybe they were buying me one or two, and it was like, interesting. But you know how you think on the inside, and you didn't do anything. You're not doing anything about it. Like what a sad existence. This was a place where I started developing that thought. I started developing that thought of, you know what? This is really sad. Why aren't people wanting more out of their life? This was a space of wanting more. I guess I hadn't like really even thought of it until I came to this. And in regards to your thoughts, like, and how you choose to live your life, if you're all about that capitalist journey, awesome. I understand that there's going to be a point in which there might be a location in which I have to come back to and find a different kind of ground to just understand. But I'm really in a good spot right now. I like where I'm staying. I like the people with whom I'm interacting on a general daily basis. It just has that Vallarta vibe. So with that said, I'm gonna sign off, but I'm just really happy and wanted to come back here and be like, oh my goodness, Miss Maloya, I wrote about that beach. I was like, it was a freaky scene, but it really did happen. There was really an art house and I was actually living there. Oh my goodness, it just feels good to be back in this space. So I think it's like not too far. I think it's like maybe a few beaches over. There's a few casinos, and this is where I learned to count. My host said, you're gonna learn Mexican numbers, let's go to the casino. So it was really nice to have that experience. But let me show you what it looks like. I think somewhere between past that boat is Quiet Cove, and it's where people go fishing, and a lot of the fresh animals are caught here, and it's just like super nice. How emotional. Okay guys, well, I'm signing out. I just my love for